Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. So, last episode we explored the waterfront and the quest I thought would be there, who actually wasn't. So this time we're gonna go back to town and head towards the warden. So basically, rather than heading left, we head right. We kill everything that's living, dead, undead, or in any way, shape or form in the way. So there's not a lot of folks out here who are up to any good. I mean, even the local wildlife and the dogs have been corrupted. Oh wait, I just remember. We're not gonna go look for the warden just yet. We have an apprentice to find first. That's how I closed off last episode. It's all coming back to me now. So, we're gonna do some cellar diving in order to find out exactly where the apprentice is hidden in the network of caves they call cellars down here. And I think that's the final one. Okay, so there's a stairs down there. Right. Okay, buddy. If you wanna rush to your death, I'll grant it to you. Cellar door. Wow, they do quite some damage. Let's make a tactical retreat.
That skill's not ready.
Dang, they hurt. These guys hurt. Let's have no misunderstanding about that. These guys hurt. It's a very good collection of special zombies here. Doing fire damage, doing cold damage. But yet, the Nightblade is one tanky bugger. Which is something I was not expecting. I mean, when I started playing Grim Dawn a couple of years ago, when I got access to one of the early access versions, I think when they entered Steam, I was kind of drawn towards the occultist, always liking necromancers and similar classes. Played a bunch with the Arcanist, which is a pure spellcaster, but no, I kind of glossed over the soldier. I was like, yeah, no, soldier, meh. It's no, it's a melee, it's a warrior type. That's usually not my playstyle. Demolitionists, like, yeah, yay, you can throw explosives, yay. Again, not really my playstyle, so I glossed over it. And similarly, the Nightblade's like, yeah, you know, it's a rogue, it's backstabby. Probably gonna be fragile as hell. Probably not gonna be my thing, but a while back my attention was called to basically just a hybrid Nightblade Arcanist build that was supposedly hardcore viable even. So it used Phantasmal Blade, which was pretty broken in previous build, as far as I understand. And I think since it has been balanced a little bit. But it was basically a Phantasmal Blades build that just pushed it to the roof and used the Arcanist for some synergies. But I was mostly surprised by just how many defensive tools the Nightblade has at his disposal. So I started playing around a bit on Grimkalk, which is grimkalk.com. It's a skill planner website, which is very useful for, you know, just theory crafting some builds, see what you want to do with a particular character, see if certain things are viable, how many skill points you will have spent by what level. Now, if certain builds can actually be done, if you can, for example, max all the skills that you want. Or if you basically need to be more than the max level to physically achieve the build. Things like that. it's a very useful tool for that. Also, this was just a passage, but there is no apprentice down here. But we did pick up some loot. So, ooh, this is not bad. It's actually more armor than the blue item we're using. Which, if I remember correctly, I picked this from my stash. I fished a couple of items from my stash. I think... Little bit Blood Seal? No, I think Blood Seal I actually found while playing. But I think I picked this one from the stash just because it's a pretty decent hat. It has some damage bonuses on it. And I think similarly I've got the Razorback's Spined Mantle here, which also comes from the stash. It's just a small twink item to help me get started. I already had it in my inventory last time, didn't show it. And I think at level 20 or 25 I might get access to a couple of blue swords from the stash as well. Those things just speed up the leveling a bit. So okay, I was looking at gear. So 5% health, that's gonna be about 70 health. That's not quite bad. Some defensive ability, a little bit of resistances. 5% chance of 2 seconds of stun retaliation. Extra damage to undead. That's actually quite a lot to like. So this one goes back to the stash next time. A coat. Same amount of armor, but we do more lightning and ether damage and we gain extra spirit. Too bad, that's not going to be useful. These pants are half the armor we currently have, so they're not very sturdy. Extra chaos damage, physique and energy regen. I don't do chaos damage, so that's wasted. The extra physique is nice, it just adds to health. But I'd rather have the life regen than the energy regen. So that's gonna be it. Hey, time to move on. Look for more sellers. So I was talking about theory crafting the Nightblade. So I had a bit of look around, and I was actually surprised by just how many defensive tools a Nightblade has. The pneumatic burst is really nice, the slowing aura is very nice, and you can add some interesting upgrades to it later as well, to just make it even better. Similarly for the pneumatic burst. There's the things like the ring of steel, there's all kinds of reflexive things. Later on you get blade prison and just all kinds of really cool things that just add to the overall defensiveness of the build. And I was surprised by that. Pleasantly surprised, that is. I mean, in addition to liking necromancers and just summoner classes in general, I actually like to build tank characters or tanky characters, and then oftentimes I actually find it interesting to build a tanky character out of a class that's not technically meant to be tanky, or that's traditionally not a tanky character. So in this case, a Nightblade that's actually very defensive. It suits how I like to play with characters. Ooh, bunch of undead. Similarly, in a game like Diablo 3, I like making hardcore viable melee wizards, for example. Now you might think like, wait, wizard, that's a very squishy spellcaster. You might be right. The way I build them though, they're nearly indestructible and melee capable. And I enjoy the challenge of pushing characters to their limits. One of the main reasons I am not playing Grim Dawn on hardcore right now is because I haven't played the game enough yet. I played around with hardcore, I think it was beta 24, 25, or it was a while ago, a couple of years ago. And I discovered there are some interesting, quote-unquote, interesting spikes in the difficulty in the game. You know, you might be cruising along and suddenly you have an encounter with a boss that just insta-kills you. And you have no real way of seeing it coming. And those difficulty spikes, I don't know, for hardcore, they can be very frustrating if you haven't played the game a lot yet. It basically means that at any time you could just randomly die without being able to affect it. And once you've played the game half a dozen times and you know where the dangerous things are, then you can prepare for it. You know how to tank for it. You know how to build your character to have the right defenses at the right time. And that's, for example, that's a stage where I'm at with Diablo 3. I played that game quite a bit after lunch. A lot of hardcore, and I've just gone. And Diablo 3, I have to say, it has a very smooth difficulty curve. There's not a lot of surprises in there, with the exception of maybe some of the earlier boss fights before they even introduced the current difficulty system. Because currently you can pick your own difficulty, and monsters just scale along you in level. Used to be that the game had distinct difficulty levels. You had normal, you had nightmare, you had hell, and then after that you had inferno. And by the time you got to nightmare, the game was pretty darn hard, but it was hard in a way that was manageable. You knew what to expect, when to expect it, and you knew that the boss fights of each of the acts, they were tremendously challenging. But as you lost characters to the boss fights, you got used to the mechanics, you knew how to counter them, and eventually you could just get by all the bosses without too much issues. Let's head back and find more sellers. Okay. So, Path of Exile, I went through a similar thing. I played it in the original closed beta, and you had difficulty spikes. Again, at act bosses, they were just ridiculously hard. I played a bit once it was out of the closed beta, I believe, or with some friends that I've been playing Diablo on hardcore with for years, even back since Diablo 2. And Path of Exile was an interesting game to look at, but there were just too many difficulty spikes, and it just felt unbalanced at that point. Okay, so we explored these two. Okay, let's go to the stairs down up there, rather than down here. Well, Path of Exile, over the years, it developed. Difficulty got smoothed a bit. Boss fights, either they got nerfed or they got balanced. It's a bit of a perspective. Or as a player, I got to know the difficult spikes better, and I knew better how to gear for things, how to prepare for things. Either way, at this point, I think the difficulty of normal difficulty is very manageable. Cruel difficulty, it's also pretty manageable, and it's only at Merciless, the final difficulty of that game. That is where I still have a lot to learn about how much damage bosses do, how much life you need to have, how tanky you need to have your standard characters, so to say, in order to not die in boss fights. But I feel very comfortable playing on hardcore and actually getting quite far. And in the current ladder season, I actually managed to get a hardcore character to level 79 before I accidentally killed him. Well, accidentally, I went into a boss fight that was a bit trickier. I already restored this one. But with Grim Dawn, I don't have the experience yet because I've been holding off on playing it too much because it was still in active development. It's not until beta, I think 28, when they added the Shaman. So there were two classes that had access to a summon, that I actually started seriously playing it and actually did a Let's Play series for it. So my experience with this game is still a bit limited. And I have a lot to learn and discover yet. And as such, I'm not going to play it on hardcore just yet because I'm not comfortable enough just building a nearly immortal character, so to say, in order to actually play on hardcore and have a very good confidence that I'll actually make it to the end game without dying. Because it's very frustrating for you as a viewer to see me start a series and then by the time I hit level 20 I stumble over a zombie and I die, for example. That would just be, I don't know, not good. It's more fun when I at least feel confident I can do it. Yeah, because then at least I will have a better idea to how to stay alive and a good confidence to actually finish the series. Because it feels pointless of starting a series I don't feel confident I can actually make it to the end. Because then in that case I'd rather play on veterans on just softcore mode. Hello there. I can't believe somebody found me out here. I came down into the cellar looking for supplies, but cut off from the surface by the dead. I don't know what to do. Oh, here, have a gate. Poof gun. Okay, we saved an apprentice. So now I think we can feed dynamite to the apprentice to blow stuff up and potentially get crafting materials out of them. But since our dynamite supply is very, very limited, we're not gonna do that just yet. Nope, not just yet. So, yeah, that was a pretty good breakdown, I think, of hardcore difficulty or hardcore game mode and how comfortable I am with playing it. And when it's likely that you'll see me start playing hardcore Grim Dawn, that's basically by the time I feel more comfortable with the game. So, I need to play a couple more series, I think, or at least focus a bit more on the mechanics and just getting more understanding of things with this series. And in that regard, playing with a melee build that doesn't have any pets is actually a pretty good way of forcing myself to become more accustomed to doing defenses properly, because I will be the only one tanking all the time. I will be absorbing all the damage. I will get a pretty good feel for just how much damage monsters do. Like this alpha, for example. They hurt. Whereas if you're running around with pets, then your pets are tanking a lot of the damage. So it makes it hard to gauge how effective your defenses are. Because it could be that, in a playing session of 20-25 minutes, I might be physically tanking things myself for less than 5 minutes, and most of the time my pets will be tanking things. Well, given how the threat mechanics used to work, I believe they have since fixed it with beta 31. They have made the monster or the pet threat better or just stronger. So hypothetically, pets will actually tank better for you than they did before.
Can't do that yet.
But yeah. Ooh, a crumbling wall. Hidden remains. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff in here. And a strongbox. Ooh, unholy inscription. That's a rare crafting material. Let's have a look. What have we been gathering so far? So a shield, we don't care. Not a shield, we don't care. An axe, we don't care. A mace, we don't care. An amulet, bleeding resistance and a bit of energy regeneration. Bleeding resistance might be nice, but at this point, meh. Resistant claw fetish of psyche. Spirits, health regen, lightning resist, poison and acid resist. Okay, this one I'm actually slightly tempted just because I don't have any poison resistance yet, and more lightning resistance is gonna be pretty good to have as well. So how much life will I lose? Lose about 50 life. Okay. For now, let's do that. I mean, a lot of the monsters, the zombies and such, they do poison and acid damage. The beasties, those spiked beasties, they have a habit of being surrounded by lots of poison as well. So having some resistance against poison and acid seems like a useful thing to have. Hello there everybody. Hello Emberguard. Goodbye Emberguard. You as well. Let's teleport past them and shoot the bombardiers. Okay. And more food. Yay. Not quite sure about how safe it is to eat food that has been out here with all these zombies for a while, but good thing is the zombies, they're not plague-induced zombies. They are actually undead zombies, or demonically or magically created zombies, so you're not gonna turn into a zombie from eating a sandwich that was out too long. I hope. I think. I wish. Hello, Burning Dead. How are you today? Oh, that throwing knife wasn't enough to kill him. And there is a person down there. Harvey the Drifter. Can we go through here? Yes. Oh. Let's have a chat with Harvey. And then go back to town and speak with the apprentice. Hello there. You broke my door. Oh no, the rotten walkers are going to hear you. They're going to find little Walter and me. Wait, are you rotten? No, you couldn't find us if you were. They would never think to look here. He's a bit mad. So let's send him to Devil's Crossing. No, I cannot go. Nowhere is safe but here. This is where we have to stay. Yes. I insist you come with me for your own good. I can't let you row this. I won't let you take Walter away again. What? Okay. Sorry, Harvey. Okay, so I can't actually pick up this dull Walter. And, well, we killed Harvey, we gained some XP. He didn't have the decency to drop any good loot. But, yeah, we made progress. I think I said I was gonna go back to town. The desire to kill things, it is strong today. Boom.
That skill's not ready.
Let's go to town. And say hi to the apprentice. Who is gonna be over here? Hello there, Dalet. Thanks for the timely rescue. Casper was spared no time in putting me back to work. So I'm here for all your schematic needs. Just ask. You're welcome. We gained more experience.
You're back. Is there anything I can help you with?
Can you provide me with inventor services?
Oh, that paltry stuff? Busy work. Speak with my apprentice. She handles the menial labor.
Okie dokie.
Take a look, shall we?
So we have a salvage and we have dismantle. And I think there's a quest or something to learn a dismantle, a salvage. So you strip component parts and augments from items. And you always nuke something. And yeah. Oh wait, yeah, of course, you can remove socketed items with it, and either you keep the item or you keep the add-on, but not both. And I think once you get access to dismantling, you can blow stuff up with dynamite, basically. Oh, there's a knife we don't care about. So let's sell things. I'm actually gonna hold on to that amulet. It was pretty decent as starter gear. So let's keep that done. I'm just gonna stash everything else. And then, well, next episode we're gonna look for the Warden's cellar. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.